Welcome everybody. Just going to do an update on what we're seeing in this incredible volatility in these indices. This is the Dow on a weekly chart, so each bar represents 1 week's price action, and you can see from the way in which I've got these Fibonacci levels from the recent highs, and the lows are on the November 2016 election lows, November lows. So what we've done is we've done all this huge selling, and all we've done is approach the 50% level since Trump's election. That's all we've done. Now this little indicator up here, let me just expand it. It's called an awesome oscillator, and it's just a simple, very simple histogram which works very much like the MACD. So if you're a technical trader and you understand MACD, you'll know where this is coming from. But you can see the huge divergence up here. But even though we've had all this selling, this histogram has only just started to come under the midline. So you can imagine, or hopefully you can begin to imagine, what we might expect once this market really gets going and really comes underneath this radar. So I'm expecting a bit of a bounce. I think normally you don't get more than 4 down days in the Dow normally, so I'm expecting a little bit of a bounce. We had a huge gap down. If we look at some of the smaller time frames, let's look at my 2-hour chart. You will see that, let's put this oscillator back in its box. You'll see that all these blue bars, the higher closes, are dominating this area down here, and there's the gap, 25,300. So we're 24,750 plus, and could come and see that gap. Markets don't like gaps, but they can. Just because there is a gap doesn't mean to say it's going to get filled. There's a gap up there which we are miles off, which all this started from. Well, it's one of the pivot points. Okay, so short term I'm expecting a bounce, but if you look at the bigger picture, we are only just beginning. And although we've had, I haven't worked out the percentage, something like a 20% drop, we saw that in the early credit crunch in 07-08. It was later followed 6 months later by a 50% drop. So I'm not about to start buying and holding this, but I am short term looking for a bounce. Okay, so let's see if we come into the market holding the 700, 750 level, and then get ready to see if we can come into 250, 300 up here. Okay, now every Wednesday at 6 o'clock I do a quick update. So if you come onto my website scalperschool.co.uk, scroll right down the page, you can see this here, and there's your booking form. Okay, so if you book on there, you will get to see this page, and once you fill this in, watch out for a link from the provider called Zoom. So you'll get an email from Zoom. Make sure it doesn't go in your junk files, and that is your entree into the webinar room at 6 o'clock every single Wednesday. Alright, it's only a 30-minute thing. It's an open forum, so I do a quick look around the markets, take questions, look at how we can handle this volatility, anything that's current to what's going on in the markets. Alright, I hope that helps, and I will look forward to seeing you then.